Welcome or welcome back. My name is Sandrine and this is episode 7 of How in the World Do You Pronounce It? Where I help you make sense, pronounce, and practice all the challenging French names of cities and mountain peaks of stage 7, Sélestat, to le Markstein Fellering of this 2022 edition of the Tour de France Femmes, the Women Tour. I am a native of France and I want to demystify the French language. Here are some tips to help you with your French pronunciation. I encourage you to exaggerate vowels. I will teach you the easy way to pronounce the French R. We will do what I call the banana smile. We will take a good breath before pronouncing most names, if not all names, in this stage. And as a rule, please do not pay attention to the spelling of these French names. I think that's the most important rule of them all. All right. I do once again want to thank Michele and his wife for helping me with the pronunciation of many of the names of this stage, as they are a mix of German and French. Now, let me start by saying all the names of this stage once in a row for our French speakers out there. And then I will break them down, of course. So let's go. And we start with the departure, which will be Sélestat. And next, Ingersheim, Münster, Petit Ballon, Col du Plastservacel, le Markstein, Odoran, Villers-sur-Thur, Goldbach-Altenbach, Grand Ballon, le Markstein Fellering. Yes, we can do this. We can do this, and we will. This is exactly the reason why I wanted to do this. So off we go. Let's break these all down, shall we? So the departure will be from Sélestat. Sélestat. So here I'm going to point out a few sounds and then combine them with everything we can work on and learn. So we have the sound E. E. And remember in my introduction, I talked about the banana smile. And the reason is not only you want to do a banana smile to pronounce the E in French, E, and also because you want to differentiate E with the sound E, E, E. Think of the end of the word café, café. So E is the sound we're looking for here. E, E, E. When you pronounce the sound E, the air you exhale goes up your mouth. It stays in your mouth and it goes up towards your nose. E, E, E. All right, so now that we know this, we can do this. We want to do C, 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 C. All right, we can take a good breath and go together. Do it together, ensemble, together. C, C, C. Right? Next, we are looking for, this is not the trickiest one, so I would say less, less, less. And yes, of course, you can think of the word less in English and pronounce it with a French accent. Less, less, right? Less, less. So that's really what we're looking for. Less, 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 right? So far we have c'est less, let's do it together. Let's take a good breath. Célestat, célestat. And we can try to merge them together a little bit. Célestat. So we kind of focus or emphasize on the E, right? Célestat. And we finish with, so first I will emphasize the letter A in, the letter A in French, which is A, A, A. Again, as I was saying in my introduction, just exaggerate those vowels, open up, A, A, A. This will help a long way. A, A, A. And here, A is part of ta, ta, ta. Yeah, we can think of ta-ta, but again, it's a very open A, A. Very French. Just, I would say as in Gavin, for instance. A, ta, 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 right? So as a whole, this name sounds like this. Sélestat, right? So let's do it together. Ensemble, we take a good breath and we go for it. Sélestat. And that's it. Next, the ladies arrive at kilometer 21.5 au kilomètre 21,5 in Ingersheim. Ingersheim. So again, this region of France has a German history, right? So the names are often German, or they are mixed with some French. So they are a mix of French and German, right? And basically, some people will pronounce them with a more German accent, and some with a more French accent. So even here, for instance, Ingersheim is the French way, as in the German way would be Ingersheim, right? So I'm going to focus on the French way to be consistent. And but keep in mind, many people who live there and are local would probably pronounce some of these names with a more German accent. So let me focus on the French one. I want to be consistent because that's the reason for this series. So let's go for it. So Ingersheim, right? So in, and here we have the example of the banana smile I was talking about. So I. Ingersheim, I. Inge, right? Or let's go with E first. In. Gare, or actually, yeah, still there is a little bit of a German influence, but what can you do? It's fine. So let's go for it. Gare. So here we have the French R. So think of the French R as a breath. Basically, you exhale. Now, the secret is to understand that while you exhale, you want to keep your tongue down in your mouth, and it stays there. It doesn't move. That's the ticket to the French R. And yes, of course, there are different accents in France, just like anywhere else. And some people, especially in that area, the French R might be more guttural, but overall, I'm teaching you not only an easy way, but one way, maybe it's a correct way of pronouncing it. And I believe it's easy, but it doesn't undermine it at all, just so you know. It's a perfect, correct way of pronouncing the French R. So again, you exhale, and while you exhale, you keep your tongue down in your mouth. All right? So, ra. But then an easy way to pronounce it and try to pronounce, practice anything really, foreign or not, is to take a good breath first. So first you inhale first, and then you can exhale and keep the tongue down in your mouth, right? So let's go. And this is the French R. So here it's part of guerre, or yeah, guerre. I'm trying to decide if I go with guerre. Let's go with air. And that's the way the French R sounds. We say air. Anyway, so that's good. So, guerre. Let's do it together. We take a good breath. Guerre. Remember, keep your tongue down in your mouth. And if you want to practice it on your own, I could give you another tip. You take a finger, you put your finger on your tongue, and your finger helps you keep your tongue down in your mouth as you exhale, right? As you breathe. So that's another tip. It's really helpful. So again, guerre, right? So far we have in guerre. Let's do it together with a good breath. In guerre. And then we end with Sime, right? Sime. Let's do it together with a good breath, of course. Sime. So as a whole, it sounds like this. Ingersheim. We do it together ensemble with a good breath. Let's go. Ingersheim. Actually, I should say, Sime. So let me do it again. Ingersheim. And let's go together. Ingersheim. Voila. Next, they will arrive at kilometer 35.6 au kilomètre 35,6 in Münster. All right. Let me point out a few sounds, at least, especially at the beginning. Here we want to pronounce the sound un. If you know a little French, you already know this sound. It's one. Number one. Un. If you followed the Tour de France Men edition a few weeks ago, or listened to my series about it, the first stage in France, which was stage 4, was departing from Dunkerque. This is the sound we're looking for. Un, Dunkerque. Un. And here, un is part of ma. So we can try together with a good breath, of course. Ma. All right, ma. And then we will have, we'll just go, we can go for it. We can pronounce ster. So yes, there is the French R again. Ra. Good breath. Exhale while your tongue stays down in your mouth. Right? Air. And here it's part of stare. We could think of the words to stare, or a stare, a flight of stare, or, stare, right? Stare. And pronounce it the French way, with a French accent. Stare. That's what we're looking for. Stare. And together, they sound like this. Münster. Let's do it together. We take a good breath. Münster. Voilà, voilà, we did it. Next, the ladies will arrive at kilometer 48.6, au kilomètre 48,6 in, that's a cute name, Petit Ballon. Petit Ballon. I think most of you are already familiar with the word petit. Petit, although in English often it is used as petite, but you might know petit. So, petit ballon. Let's break it down. Petit, peu. We need to pronounce the e sound. We need to move our jaws and mouth forward. It's a forward movement of your jaws and your mouth. Let's try it together with a good breath, of course. Right? And here it goes with p, with a p, p. Let's do it together, of course, with a good, I was about to say a good smile. Yes, also it helps, but a good breath. B. And then we have upcoming, we have the banana smile, the E sound. E. Banana smile, E. We exaggerate those vowels. E, right? And it's part of T, with a T, right? T, just a T, in French, T, big smile, banana smile. And together they form petit. So let's take a good breath and let's go. Petit. Voilà. Now you know how to say small or tiny. Petit. I would say small. Petit. Ballon. Ballon is a ball or a balloon, it depends, but mostly a ball. And here we go. So let me emphasize the ah, just like in Sélestat, right? Ah. The French A is ah. Again, open up, exaggerate it. Ah. And here it's part of ba, with a B. B in French, ba. Yeah. Ba. Very opened. Ba. Yeah. Come on, we can do it with a good breath, though. It always helps. Ba. There you go. And next we want to pronounce the funny sound. Right? So it's a pretty closed up sound. Pretty closed up and nasal. Right? Let's try it together. Good breath. Right? And here it's part of long. So the L, which is L in French, L, long. Try with a good breath with me, avec moi. Long. So far, or yeah, at least together, these two sounds sound like this. Ballon. You can do it too. Let's go together. Ballon. Yes, so as a whole, this name sounds like this. Petit ballon. Right? So let's do it together ensemble. We take a good breath. Petit ballon. Voilà. Next. The ladies will arrive at kilometer 65.8, au kilomètre 65,8, and they will climb actually to the col du plat cerval. Vaisselle. I see you and me. Let me do it again. And I need to breathe better too. Take my own advice. Col du plat cervicelle. Voilà. So, here we go. What do we have here? Well, first, we have a very, I would say, open ah. Ah, 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 ah. So, you can think of awe, I'm in awe, a bit more French somehow, awe, and it's part of col, col, col. So let's take a good breath together. Col, 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 col. I need to go up because the name is not over. Col, col. And I would think, yeah, the ah is a little sustained, but we don't have to focus too much on that. Col, col. Du, du. Now, this is our first U here. U. What a funny sound, isn't it? So, basically, to pronounce the U, you want to make a droopy face. You drop, you drop your jaws, your mouth, your lips. You make a droopy face, and U. Your lips go down with a small opening of your mouth, and it should sound like a U. Try with me, avec moi, good breath. U, right? And here, U is part of du. Let's do it together. Du. Right? So far, we have col du. You do it with me, avec moi, good breath. Col du. Yeah. Plat cervicelle. Let's go for it. So, plat. So, A again. A. The French A is A. Open it up. A. Just like in ballon. Sélestat. A. And here it is part of plat. Plat. So plat, and then let's go. Serre. So maybe we'll start with serre. So yes, there is a French R, le R, again. Breath and tongue stays at the bottom of the mouth. R. Do it with me, avec moi. R. Serre. And then with a t, to serre, just like we would say, right? But it ends with a R sound. Serre. Va. Another A. Va. Sel. Right? Vaisselle. So, serre, vaisselle. So let's do it together, ensemble, with a good breath. Serre, vaisselle, right? Serre, vaisselle, right? And we go back up a little bit, and it starts with plat, and then serre, vaisselle, right? So I will make it sound this way. Plat, serre, vaisselle, right? Platzer-Vassel. So let's do it together. Take a good breath with me, avec moi. Platzer-Vassel, right? And as a whole, it sounds like this. Col du Platzer-Vassel. Let's do it together. Ensemble. Take a good breath. Deep breath. Col du Platzer-Vassel. Yes! All right. Next, they will arrive at kilometer 73.2, au kilomètre 73,2 in le Markstein. Yes, we can do this. We can do this, and we're going to do it right now. So, first, this name starts with le. So again, is a forward movement of your jaws. Le. Try it with me. Good breath. Le. Yes, le. And then we have a French A, which is a again, a. Followed by, well, let's start with that. Ma. And it is followed by le R, the French R. R. Mar. Just a breath. Don't worry about it. So, take a good breath with me, avec moi. Mar, right? And then we could think of the name Mark, right? Because basically it sounds like it. So, Mark. Think of the name Mark with a French accent. So, Mark. And you can break it down the way it's easier for you. Maybe Mark, because I know it's tricky to add consonants with the R. Mark. Take a good breath. Mark. And I'm going to go up a bit. Mark, because it's not over. Mark. Oui. Stein. So we take a good breath for this one too. Stein. So we go back up a bit and we have Markstein, right? So let's do it together, ensemble. Take a good breath. Markstein, right? And we go back, and as a whole, this name sounds like this. Le Markstein. Do it with me, avec moi. Good breath. Le Markstein. Here we go. Next, the ladies will arrive at kilometer 93.1 au kilomètre 93,1. And I have to admit, we are not sure about this name. And I will pronounce it the Frenchiest, the most French way I can. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a very French way of pronouncing it to stay consistent. So I will say odorant. So what do we have here? We have first O. Pretty straightforward, right? Pretty closed up and dry, I would say. Dry, O. De, again, forward movement of your jaws. De. So take a good breath. De. And then rend. So think about, for instance, the word restaurant, right? That's what we're looking for with a French accent. Oran, oran, oran. So, of course, just a breath. Tongue stays at the bottom of your mouth. And oran, oran. Let's take a good breath. It will make it much easier. Oran, oran, oran. Right? De rang, de rang. De, rang, de rang, de rang. Right? Take a good breath. De rang, de rang. Right? And as a whole, it sounds like this. Au de rang. So let's try it together ensemble. We take a good breath, of course. Deep breath. Au de rang. And that should be it for this one. Because next, the ladies will arrive at kilometer 103, au kilomètre 103, in Villers-sur-Tur. A very good example of why in my introduction or tips I'm saying please don't look up, don't pay attention to the French spelling. This name sounds like this. Villers-sur-Tur. Let's go for it. Let's break it down. So first, upcoming, we have a banana smile, right? E, 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 E. And E is part of V, 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 V. Oh, I wanted to give you another tip too. Don't hesitate to close your eyes anytime you want to focus on specific sounds, or any time for that matter. It will help your brain focus on these sounds. So sorry about that. Let's go back. So V, 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 V. And then l'air, 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 right? L'air. So yeah, we can think of the word l'air and with even a more French accent. L'air, l'air. So far we have vie, l'air. Let's try together with a good breath. Vie, l'air, vie, l'air, vie, l'air. And then sur, so here is a droopy face again. Sur, sur, ra, 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 I know. Sur, sur. Tur, tur, so we have the droopy face coming up twice. Sur, sur. Tur, tur, right? So let's take a good breath. Sur, tur. Sur, tur, right? French. But let me go back up, and as a whole, this name sounds like this. Villers-sur-Tur. We can do this. Let's do it together, ensemble. We of course start with a good and deep breath. Villers-sur-Tur, right? Villers-sur-Tur, if you want to sound even more French, right? There you go. Next, they will arrive at kilometer 110.7, au kilomètre 110,7 in, so the French, very French way is Goldbach, Goldbach, Altenbach. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, so first, Goldbach. So, yeah, it's gold with a French accent, so it's more of a O, or, yeah, Goldbach. Well, let's stay with gold. Gold. It's a bit more open, right? Oh. Gold. Back. Just like back, but with a French A, which is back, back, right? Back, very French. So it sounds like this. Gold, yeah, I guess I'm gonna say gold back. This is the Frenchiest way I can think of. Gold back. We do it together, ensemble. Take a good breath. Gold back. Gold back. Right? And then alten back. Alten back. So alten, al, that's the key, is the French A. Alten, alten, alten. We do it together with a good breath. Alten, back, back. So twice the French A, the A, right? Alten, back. Let's do it together with a good and deep breath. Alten, back. I suppose alten means altitude or high. I'm not a German speaker, but because I'm an English speaker, it helps. I can guess a lot of words. Let me know if I'm wrong on this one in the comments below. I'm guessing alten. Yeah, you let me know. Next will be at kilometer 119.9 au kilomètre 119,9. Did you know you would be learning how to count too in French? Yeah, so they will arrive in Grand Ballon. So earlier we had le petit ballon, the small or tiny balloon or ball. And here it's the grand one, le grand, the big one, large, big. All right, so grand, most of you know this name. Make sure you just pronounce it with a French accent. En, again, en. Just think of restaurant, en, with a French accent, very French, rond. So take a good breath first, and just remember you want to exhale and keep your tongue down in your mouth, right? Rond, right? And then grand, rond, grand. I know it's tricky, but again, practice on your own. Use a finger on your tongue if it's helpful. It should be. And yeah, it's very tricky to pronounce a French R with consonants around. It's probably the trickiest. But again, think of grand, mix it a R and a rond, and you have it. Grand. So let's take a good breath together, ensemble, and let's go for it. Grand. Yeah. Ballon. Ballon. That's funny sound. Ballon. Do it with me, avec moi. Ballon. So as a whole, it sounds like this. Grand ballon. Right? Let's do it together. Grand ballon. Voila. And finally, here is the finish line. They will arrive at the finish line, l'arrivée, la ligne d'arrivée, at kilometer 127.1 au kilomètre 127,1 in le Markstein Fellering. Merci Michele and his wife again for that one. Le Markstein Fellering. All right, so we already went through le Markstein. Let's go back to it a tiny bit. Le, forward movement of your jaws. Le. Mark, 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 mark. Stein, 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 right? Markstein. Le Markstein. Let's do it together with a good breath. Come on, we can do this. Le Markstein fait, fait, fait le, again, le, forward movement, forward movement of your jaws, your lips, le. So far we have fait le, ring, ra, I know. It's the last one. Let's do it. Ra. Ring, right? Ring. Take a good breath. Ring. So, we have so far fait le ring. Fait le ring. Right? Let's do it together ensemble. We take a good deep breath. Fait le ring. Right? So as a whole, it sounds like this. Le Markstein fait le ring. Right? Let's do it together. It's the last name of the stage 7, sorry. So here we go. Good deep breath. Le Markstein fait le ring. Yes, you did it. You did it. Congratulations. And I mean it because I know. And this is why I've been wanting to do this series. Wonderful. Well, this is it for stage 7. I will see you next for the final stage of the Tour de France Femmes. Yeah, the ladies will finish for stage 8, and here is a sneak peek. They will depart from Lure to arrive in La Super Planche des Belles Filles. Of course, many of you know this climb. Of course, if you follow cycling and the Tour de France. So yes, I will see you then. I'm interested in knowing what you guys think, and especially what was helpful or not. I'm doing my best, but feedback is wonderful. I appreciate your comments. Please let me know, and I will see you next for stage 8. See you then. Bye, everyone.